Hello everyone, it's Keren Baker here and I'm doing a video to talk about how to construct the new Winter Wonderland gift boxes. Now we have three different sizes. So we've got the large gift box, we have the small gift box, I know this is going to be hard to see, and then we've also got the bauble. Okay, so these are the three sizes. You can see they're all a very similar shape, other than this one which is more square and these two which are longer. So I'm just going to show you from when you cut your die out how to actually put them together, and then I'm going to show you a couple of made up examples at the end. So let's get started. Now, when you receive the gift boxes, depending on which one you're going to choose or all of them, these are the three sizes. Now, for the large gift box and for the small gift box, you're going to have to do one per A4 or your large sheet of cardstock. Obviously, you'll have a little bit of gap between these, and you are going to need two of these per cut. So if I've shown you the large one. I know you're unlikely to cut them out in this bright green, but this just really helps me show you all the folds. So for one of these gift boxes, which is this size, you're going to need to cut out two. Now, if you want to cut out the smallest one, which is our bauble gift box, you can actually get two of these on an A4 sized sheet. I think for the American and the Canadian sizes of cardstock, you'll probably get two of these on as well. So let's show you how to actually do it. Now, it's really easy. The folding is really simple. This is the top of your box. These flaps are the bottom of your box. And the secret to a good box is good folds. So I'll bring this one out the way and we'll take it. I've just put the tape on already just to make it easier, because it's not terribly interesting watching me put double-sided tape on. So to start off with, this is the way I've done it. You may come up with better ways of doing it, but first of all, I'll do the middle. So I'll fold the middle down, and then we're going to do the long edges. Okay, so you've got three of those plus the flaps. So what I'm going to do, again, what I'm doing is, depending on which way, if you're looking at the top part of it, I'm going to be doing mountain folds. Okay, so each of those exactly the same. So all we've done so far is the middle one, a mountain fold, these three mountain folds, and also your little tabs, exactly the same. Give those a good firm press down. So now to do the next bit. Now what we're going to do, these are mountains, but these are going to be valleys. So all I do is, using your fingers, actually push the top towards the middle. So you're pushing this over to the middle, and then I found it easier just to turn it round the back and to give it a good fold. So again, put your thumbs or fingers together, push it like that, and then fold. So you're going to do exactly the same to every single bit. Now I'm going to try and be quick, so forgive me if I'm not folding them down properly and with my bone folder, but I'm just trying to do this quickly for you. Obviously, when you have them, now the reason that I folded it first, if it's flat, what can tend to happen is that you end up with this little edge bit here, right here, ending up not being quite so precise. So I found it was easier to do the middle first, and then you know exactly which bit you're doing. And that's why taking it over to the other side, you just put it down and making sure that you get a good clean fold. And then for these ones here, these are mountain as well. Whoops, sorry. So these are mountain folds. So once you've done that, I leave these till the end, and then all we've got to do is connect them together. So with the top parts the same on both sides, what you don't want to do is to be putting it upside down. So all the parts line up. So these are the bottom tabs, and these are your top parts to put together. So all I need to do now is take off my tape. Let me just try and do that as quickly as possible, and then try and have it reasonably flat to fit together. The secret with this is just to make sure that your center fold on this piece and this piece are matching. So I tended to put my center bit together first, and then I just added the next part here. I tend to do, when I'm doing boxes, if they're really not going to stick together very well, I do like to use something like the double-sided tape. But if you're not sure about lining it up properly, sometimes it's well worth using a glue or an adhesive that will actually move. So something like this, you can hardly read it now, I've used it that much. The Deluxe adhesive from Nuvo, that is a really good, strong adhesive for boxes because it gives you a little wiggle room. So all I need to do now, and I've put those together, is I need to close the box. So take the top off, top of the double-sided tape. And then exactly how we did before, you're just going to be lining up the center, and then you want to try and make sure that the edge of the cardstock is going along to the edge of that fold there. Once you've done one side, it's much easier to do the other side. There we go. And then once you've done that, they're nice and big, just put your hand in and give the adhesive a good press to make sure it's ready. So all we need to do now is we need to do the bottoms. Now the way that this works is you're actually going to be pushing all of the edges together. So all of these square tabs here are actually going to fit directly under each other. The actual order doesn't really matter as long as you've got them in. I mean, I tend to do mine alternately, but the way that you do it is entirely up to you. So let's just get some glue on. And again, I'm just going to try and do this quickly for you. If you pop the other tabs out the way, it's often easier. And don't do what I do. Make sure that you've actually got adhesive up to the folded edge. So what I'm going to do now is press my edges together and pop the bottom in line like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take the next one round. Do exactly the same again, just making sure I've got adhesive on the edges so it's going to stick nice and securely. Push those in and line them up and give them a bit of a press. Just make sure it's nice and neat. And then the final one, again, you could do this with double-sided tape, whatever is the adhesive of choice. So you're just pushing it in each time like that. Pop it together and just push from this edge. Try and make sure it's lined up. Obviously it's the bottom and nobody's going to see it, but the neater you do it, the better the result is. So I've now got the bottom of my box completed. Obviously leave it to dry so that you get the ultimate hold for those. Then all you're going to need to do is you're going to pop these together. So again, it's going to be squeezing together, and we're going to be popping these two together. But what we need to do is put the two of these, again, they match up, they're going to actually go through these holes. So bend this in both ways. So you're going to bend that in, again, mountain folds for these, and then bend that one upwards, because what we want to do is have those matching and that those little panels there straight. So once I've got that one together, hold them so that the circles match up, and then all we're going to do is we're going to slot that into that side and then bring this one in. Watch what I'm doing. I'm just going to slot that one into that side, and that holds it securely. So it's a really easy make, really simple to put together. Now obviously once you've got this, you can keep them like that. You can actually open them, you can close them down or have them up at an angle. You can tie them together with twine, with bow, with whatever you'd like. But if you want to do something with some of the elements that come with them, obviously that's just the outside box. With each of the dies, you do get outer panels and verso panels. So if you want to cut in or you want to add actual layers to your boxes, you can do that. Now you can see on this one, I just used So that's the outside panel that I could have used. I didn't use that. I just used the Verso die. So that's cut into my panel. If you're going to do the Verso panels or the outer bits, make sure you do your die cutting before you assemble it. Otherwise it's going to be an absolute nightmare. So what I did was I just cut the outside out and the outside shape, and then put my different dies that I wanted to cut out. And this actually has an acetate backing, so it just gives the structure a little bit more rigidity. And then obviously you can go to town decorating. This large box does come with some extra elements, so you can see this gorgeous little Noel die, lovely foliage. I've just used some Nouveau drops to make it look like there's a little bit of snow or frost on them. So that's what you can do with that one. If you want to do something a little bit different, you can actually take it to another level. Now this shape is actually made using the Bauble. I know it looks completely different, but instead of 2, what I've done is I've joined 4, and I've put them together, joined them in a long line of 4, connected them as we just showed you before. And then all I did was I actually folded one of these over to one side and just kept folding them. And then these little tabs here, I actually cut them off the top. So I cut them off the top of them all. I needed a couple more extra. And then to hide the joins, I put them back on. And then we've just added some of the extra elements you're going to get with the die. But that makes a really cute little bowl or basket to put little goodies in. If you want to do it the other way, you can see what I've done is I've taken the folds outwards. So when we were doing our folding, I'll undo this one. Try and do it carefully. There we go. So when we were doing our outwards folding like that, if you wanted to take it, so you did it the other way around. Now it's going to be difficult for me to do this because the bottom is obviously already done, as in an inside. But if I wanted to do it the other way around, if I take my folds the opposite way, it's going to look a little bit messy here, but you can get the idea. Then you actually end up with an outer rather than an inner. And that's how I did this one. I know it looks slightly odd because I use this green. It looks a bit like a football stadium, but it just gives you the idea that actually once you've got these gorgeous dies, you can make your very simple or elaborate boxes, and you can also add to them and do things that are completely different. So you can be very, very creative with this set. So the Winter Wonderland gift boxes are really, really clever. I'm sure you will enjoy creating with them. We can't wait to see what you make with this release. I haven't shown you the many, many extra dies that you get with them. I'm just concentrating on the basic construction, but you will love all the extra dies that you've got to actually decorate and add to your boxes. Please tag Tonic either on the Facebook page or whatever social media you use. We would love to see what you're creating with our new Winter Wonderland gift box range. Thanks for joining me. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.